All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We got to talk about this. I'm looking at the standings for the first time in a few days because you go on vacation, you just disconnect from everything, and the NHL is upside down and inside out. It's crazy what's going on in the Eastern Conference. When I left vacation, when I left for on vacation, it looked pretty solid that both playoff teams would come out of the Metro. And now the Rangers are in last place, and it looks pretty solid that both wild card teams will come out come out of the Atlantic. Yo, how you doing, Bex? You blow up the chat so I can see. Uh Max, I cannot say that. I cannot say that. Max, are you a Rangers fan trying to trick me? I can't say that. Bex, how we feeling for tonight? I mean, the Panthers better look at the standings. Yeah, I like what Jason said. We better get our shit together. I'm done with the wishy-washy BS. We need to take a look at the standings, Panthers guys in the locker room. Okay, um, get your ish together. get it together here. We ain't but a couple bad games away from being in a really bad spot. John says either we win 6-2 tonight or lose 3-0 tonight, right? Rank says you were giving the Rangers a boost tonight because we're the Panthers and that's what we do. Beck says, I really do think the Panthers don't take lower point teams seriously, which leads to their terrible play. I mean, I think it's a combination of things. I think you could be correct there, right? But then you also have times like with Montreal. It's not a bad team. They've got some good young talent. They've got speed. And anytime, I don't care who the two opponents are, if a team with speed is on its game and the other team is not, most of the time a team with speed is going to show up and win. Max says Sasha is pissed. He will clutch. He'll be clutch. I'd like to see that tonight. Right? I didn't realize, I didn't look. I'm not going to lie. I was on vacation. And this is the real first chance I've had a chance to look at things again. Leafs at 46, Panthers at 46, the Bruins at 44, the Lightning at 42, the Senators at 40. That's the top three in the Atlantic and both wild cards. So, I mean, the Lightning have 3 games in hand on us. The Bruins have a game in hand on us. The Sens have a game in hand on us. And we're only 6 points out of the 8th seed. I don't want to panic, but wake up. Wake up. Wake up. You know what I mean? Wake up. Vince says, am I in a bad spot? I'm actually not in a bad spot. I'm actually in a good spot. Huh? I'm actually in a good spot. I cannot divulge why I'm in such a good mood because people watch my videos that shouldn't watch my videos. Sean says, trying to figure out if the shutouts. Ugh, that water's disgusting. Ugh, I gotta change the water filter. Sean says, trying to figure out if the shutouts are a blip or a sign of a bigger issue, wondering if they are sick or still tired from the road trip. Well, I mean, if you look at it as a whole, like I said before, one of the recaps, Finland trip, a couple of games, whatever it was. Then we had the long road trip, right? Then we come back to 3 games in 4 nights. But that excuses some of the play before the Christmas break. The only thing that excuses the play or explains the play against Montreal is sick or head up their ass. Right. Yeah, exactly, Fly Guy. Hey, thank you, Frank. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Frank. He says it takes two games losing streak for us and 2-game winning streak for Boston and Toronto to put us in fourth. Shit better get serious really fast. Yeah, I know. It's not. We need to wake up. We absolutely need to wake up and go on a 6, 7, 8 game heater here. No doubt. Julian says, in an offense like this, we should never be shut out. Goalies seem to play their A game against us. True, but at the same point, the shot placement has been terrible. It's been bad. It's been really bad. I mean, like I said before, I mean, we were hitting bullseyes, right? You got the C, the logo for the Canadian. I mean, we were just dead on hitting bullseyes right in the middle of the logo. Hey, Ghost Slayer, how you doing, bud? You said you think you got the Cats hangover, so they better play now since we've all been offloaded. It's been offloaded into their fan base. Yeah, not feeling great either. Kyle, sore throat. I got the sore throat. I got the aches. I got the, I feel like I partied all weekend, but I didn't do anything all weekend. It's like that. Sunswine says, I think it would be a very Panthers thing to have the Rangers have a convincing statement win. What were you talking about? Who looks out of it, Vincent? It's just dark. It's just dark in here because I don't have I had 2 studio lights. One of them broke, and I got the other one that works downstairs in the recap room, and I just haven't brought it up here. So the only light is coming from above, so the hat makes it look like I'm all screwed up. Nobody cares what I look like. Yeah, Fly Guy says it's been great if they're aiming for the logo on the jersey. That is true. That is true. Julian says, Verhaeghe was like my favorite player. Now he's quiet as can be, but draws a field another problem. We were missing Gudis, Cousins, Lomberg, physicality. That is not untrue. When you look at it over the course of the 2 years, the personality that we lost, right? Gudis, Lomberg, Montour, OEL had some edge to him. Cousins. I know there's at least one guy I'm leaving out of that mix, right? Oh, Vincent says, "Oh, I look happy." Yeah, I'm trying to hide it, Vincent. I'm trying to hide it. I'm trying to mask it. I'm trying to mask it. Good things are happening. I can't post all the good things that are happening because people that don't want good things to happen for me get triggered and that gets them all upset, and it's not worth it. So when things settle down, I'll post more about the things going on. Hey, Matthew says, Jaws, please don't talk about how the sky is falling. Remember, this year his team is super streaky. Yeah. No doubt. No disagreement there. David says, sorry for the off topic, but I'm curious, any shocks to see in Florida again after so long? Oh, we're so crowded. In terms of Florida, I can't say that I was shocked by anything I saw. I grew up going down to South Miami and let's put it this way. What you guys are experiencing now, saying, oh my God, it's so crowded, you ain't seen nothing. And what I mean by that is the areas where you all lived when you were growing up. I would go, There's houses where I used to go fishing out west. You know what I mean? I saw way more population growth and destruction of habitat during my youth than what's happened now. When I used to go fishing with my dad to the Newport Fishing Pier off, I think there's 163rd. Is it off 163rd or is it to the left? It's to the north. The point is that we would have to cross over to 163rd Street Causeway, where all of you were just used to it. It's all been built up and everything. When I was a kid, when we would drive towards the causeway before sunup, you had to drive very, very slowly because the road was completely full of blue crabs because there was nothing but marsh on either side. So when I grew up watching all of that get destroyed. So I couldn't say I was shocked by what I saw down there because I've already seen hellfire and damnation go down in that area in multiple different areas. Yeah, they're running out of right. They're building everything up because they're running out of space between the ocean and the Everglades. Yeah. Thank you, Orlando. Yeah, true. Olita State Park. Yeah. It was just nothing. It was nothing. And you would roll real slow in the car. You put the windows down, and all you'd hear was clack, 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 clack. That's all you would hear. And you would turn your lights off, and they'd all come surround the car. Turn the lights on. You'd be surrounded by blue crabs. It was crazy. And it's all. I mean, to say it's all gone is an understatement, you know. So, but the point being, no, I will not be moving back down to Florida. No. I keep saying it. I keep saying it because I want the spirits to hear me, to make sure they understand I appreciate. We got 3,500 square feet to ourselves. We got 3 acres to ourselves. And unless God himself fly down here, or the aliens, one of the two, and picks me up and drags me away from where I'm living right now, I ain't going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. David says, I hear you, man. Sounds like you've already been through it. I've been going through it in the chapel area. It used to be so quiet. Now it takes 10 minutes to get to I-75, where it used to be like 3 minutes. Yeah. I mean, all that stuff that's built out there. I used to go, my uncle used to bring me fishing out there. There's the water, you know, there's places they literally filled in to make housing communities. Hey, Petro. Did I hear the Dolphins still have a chance to make the playoffs? Yeah. Wouldn't that be some craziness? Kyle and I talked about it. If by some miraculous thing the Dolphins make the playoffs, we will stream the Dolphin playoff game. I can't resist that. Sunshine, you got plenty of those crabs in Cutler Bay. Yeah. Yep, the concrete jungle grew fast. That's for sure, man. Did we catch the crabs? No, we didn't, Matthew. It wasn't really a need for it. When we went fishing, there was no limits. There was no size limits. So we would go to the pier, and between me, my dad, and my grandfather, on a bad day, between the three of us, 50 mackerel. That was a bad day between the three of us. Now we only caught 10. I only caught 10, but Grandpa caught 17 or so. That was a bad day. Crazy. Charlie wants to know when was the last time I went fishing in the ocean in a boat. I get seasick very, very bad. Very bad. That's part of the whole vertigo thing. I haven't been in a boat. My dad used to have a boat, and he would love to go trolling for dolphin. I hated it. Yeah, David said 3,500 square feet and 3 acres is like 2 million in Florida, right? Yeah. Yeah, I know people move in and people want to move out, right? Sunshine says his crabs are protected now, but you still see people camping on the side of the road with buckets snatching them. Damn it, man. Frank says, so Pierre LeBrun has Will Borgen from the Rangers and David Savages as Panthers targets. Huh. I guess it's getting close to, oh, God. Oh. I try to adjust myself in this chair, but it don't work out. I guess it's getting close to that time, right? It's not January yet, though, but we're getting there. So Savard, yeah, I figured. Savard is God, this water's terrible. I'll be right back. I genuinely have to change out my water. It tastes like it's not even filtered. I don't know what the hell is going on. I'll be right back. All right. Okay, that's better. What I was trying to get ready to say, I'll catch up on the chat, is every year Savard or Gostisbehere is on the Panthers' radar, but it never happens. Mr. Vids, yeah, those areas got expensive quick. Craig says, last season Savard is the guy I think I would be a good fit. He and Zito have the Columbus connection. Here comes Frank. He says, we need a true offensive defenseman. My personal preference is Bowen Byram. We don't have a defenseman that can move in tight spaces. Everyone is slow and one and done. That's true. That is very true. That is a really good point. Yeah. If you can get somebody like that as a pairing for Mikkola, will be okay, I think. Right? Mr. Vid says, yeah, personally, as long as we're in the top 3 in the division, I'm not too worried. Well, that's true, except for the fact that we're only top 3 in the division because we have a 4-point lead on Tampa, but they have 3 games in hand on us. So I agree with your assertion, but we got to stop losing games. Hey, Ryan, he says, I think you have to trade Sam Bennett this year. This team isn't winning the cup, and losing him for nothing will set us back. But I don't think you can. I mean, I can understand the fan viewpoint thinking it that way. But Zito cannot think that way. Zito cannot take a team that won the cup last year that is planning on doing everything it can to try to win again and make moves based on the assertion that we ain't going to win it anyway. He can't look at it that way. You know, I think the way to kind of make up for what we might not get for Bennett or might not get for Ekblad if they walk, the way to mitigate that is by not overpaying for something, a new piece now to try to put us over the top. I like Meadows' idea, Balinskis for Makar. Totally one One for one, Meadow. I'm totally down with that. Absolutely. No problem. And if they want us to throw in one of the Boquist brothers, I guess we can. I'm good with that. But Vince says, what happened to Chicken all of a sudden? He looks really good on Washington. Caps did well. A lot of it is system, right? A lot of it is players have a specific skill set, and if they can get put in the right system with the right defensive pair, right? Okay. Imagine how good Gustav Forsling would be if he wasn't having to make up for Ekblad's mistakes 10 times a game. The dude is gassed. Now I'm just picking on Ekblad. Someone says, I don't know what's in the Washington water this season. Let's see if it continues in the playoffs. Right? Remember last year, Ovechkin got basically goose-egged in the playoffs, right? Sunspine says, I don't expect any major additions this season. Zito may work with what we have. And I think that is a possibility, too. Hey, Aaron, how you doing? Yeah. Aaron, I'm just making sure you're still watching the show. I'm just making sure you're still watching. All right? It's all good. We can, I won't tell anybody that we text back and forth. I won't tell anybody that I got your number. Don't worry about it. Your secret's safe with me. Metal says, our last 4 losses have all been shutouts. What do we think is mostly attributing to that? To be honest with you, the last 2, to really be in terms of the shutouts, shot placement. Now, I'm not saying we played well enough to win those games 5-2, but in both games, there was at least 1 or 2 goals where the goalie was easily beatable, and we just shot it right into the dead center of the logo. Shot placement is horrible right now across the board. So, they've got to fix that somehow. I mean, like I said at the end of the last recap, if they're sick, then we have to give them a pass. If they are not sick and this is some kind of other issue, now you're talking about it's up to Maurice, right? Now it's up to Maurice to kind of get with these guys and sort through what's going on. What do we need to do to get this fixed? Yeah. Hey, Metal's exactly right. We got shut out by Dobas. Now watch us put 5 up on Shesty or quick, right? Mr. Vid says, even if we don't win this year, I'm still extremely grateful that I got to see my team win the cup at least once in my lifetime. We can't win every year. I know it seems that way, especially on this channel, because we started streaming the games and they made it to the finals both years. Can you imagine if that happens 3 years in a row? Can you imagine if we started streaming the games and all first 3 seasons the team makes the finals? I could never quit, right? I would immediately be blamed if I quit doing the videos and then they didn't make the finals. Guys would come torch the house. Aaron Ekblad says, sorry, guys, we partied too hard over Christmas break. On the positive side, though, I did get a sweet copy of Jaws' book for Christmas. Thank you, Aaron. Aaron, if you want to send it to me, I'll sign it. I'll sign it for you, man. Right? I'll either put to Aaron or to Eggplant. You have to choose which one you want. Okay? Mr. Viz says, I'm going to be crazy if we go to 4 in a row like the Islanders. Look, everything else set aside, in terms of getting to the finals, I mean, I know we've had some games where we played like crap, right? But we did last year as well. And what I'll say is this. If they get a defenseman and Bobrovsky can still be playoff Bob. I honestly feel confident that we can get to the finals again. I think Tampa could be a problem, right? Okay, I think Tampa to me seems to be the team that would be the biggest problem, because they're probably the team in the Atlantic that can kind of, get really, really physical with us and kind of get under our skin the way we get under Boston's skin. Tampa has the ability to get under our skin a little bit there. Hey, Rosado. All right, hold on. I want to read what Vincent's saying here. Vincent says, I'm telling you, it's a psychological issue. There's only been one thing that prevents this team to be good: Ekblad. If Zito wakes up and does what is necessary, adding players would be easy. This team pushed through emotions and heroics of certain individuals. It's time to adjust and make a change. Plus, other teams look really strong. Interesting. Aaron says, it was during our team's Secret Santa event, so no, I don't know who gave it to me, but I suspect it was Forsling. He loves your channel. I love it. I love it. Frank says 2026 is when we can do damage because Bob and Knight's contracts come up. True. That's true. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not convinced we're out of it just yet. We looked like this at times last year. We really did look like this at times last year. Hey, thank you, John. Hamburger Hut. Thank you, buddy. Hamburger Hut. Is Mark Messier bald? Yeah. Yeah, Mark Messier is bald, right? Yeah. Metal says, Ekblad for Plank and Stanley. Rosado says, we might have 2 new starting goaltenders in 2 years. Look, anything is possible, right? Let's not forget how we got where we are, right? And let's not, I made a video about this, and we give Zito so much credit, but Dale Talon is solely responsible for us going from Luongo, Hall of Famer, to Bobrovsky, Hall of Famer, to possibly Spencer Knight if he develops into being what people have hoped he would. The whole thing with his play being inconsistent, I understand the frustration from the fan base that way. Fortunately for us, Bobrovsky has been healthy, so we haven't really seen what Spencer would do now in a 5, 6, 7 game streak. You know what I mean? Trade for Levi. Frank says, if we get eliminated in the first round and Bob sucks, you would buy him out. Well, but to do what, Frank? What I mean by that is to move Spencer in, because a buyout, you're still going to be on the hook for probably half that money. Can somebody look that up? What would be Bob's cap hit for the last year of his contract if we bought him out after this season? Because if it's still going to equal $10 million between what we got to pay Bob and what we got to pay somebody else, Misfits is on the West Coast. Who do I see going to the Cup? I really wouldn't be shocked to see Vegas get back. I think it's going to be a repeater. I think it's going to be either Vegas, Colorado, or Edmonton. I think one of the teams that have made it in the last recent memory. Yeah. Frank says, night sucks. Can we stop protecting this guy? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of discarding a guy that hasn't had a genuine opportunity. You know what I mean? He's a young goaltender. He doesn't get a chance to play all that often. And young goaltenders that don't get a chance to play all that often can struggle. Like at least with Omar and Swayman, they were basically every other game. Right? With Knight, he's got no rhythm. There's no rhyme or rhythm to when he's going to play. They're treating Knight like he's some 32-year-old veteran goaltender, and he's not. And I hear what you're saying, Frank, but it's like a running back in football. Some of these guys need 15 to 20 carries. Okay, so Frank says 6-6 for 26 and 1 million for 27. So then if you bought Bob out, now you still got 6-6, you still got Spencer. So if Bob is gone, now you've got what, 3 million? What's your plan though? Right? Because now you've got 3 million for a backup, unless you're going to trade Spencer too. You see what I mean? It just doesn't. You have to have a guy that you've targeted to be the new goalie. Hey, thank you, Ron. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated, Ron. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Yeah, Drieger and right. Rosado saying, I think that's what happened with Drieger. He didn't get enough playing time with the Kraken, and he ended up being washed. He did have some injury issues, though. That's true. But remember, we thought he was going to just be. We thought for sure he was going to get signed to be the starter, and then they platooned him. So, that's my concern with Craig saying Knight is good and guaranteed if he went somewhere else, he would haunt the Cats. I have a feeling that that's accurate. He's still real young. And he's made big improvements. You know what I mean? I know he wasn't perfect the other night. Now, Vincent says his attitude is awful. He's not quite stable to be a starting goaltender. Well, I don't know. The concern there is that we've invested so much. Let's not forget the players that we've lost because we've hung on to him. That really leads me to believe that Zito is fully invested on Spencer Knight being Bob's replacement. Hey, thank you, Frank. Thank you, bud. Thank you, Frank. Says, dude, Kevin Lankinen is making minimum wage in Vancouver, and he's got better numbers than Knight. Oh, no doubt. I mean, look, the numbers for both goaltenders are bad. The numbers for both goaltenders are bad. Some of that is a product of the fact that, we may only give up 20 shots a game, but 12 of them are the kind where the goalie's hung out to dry. I think that the goalie's numbers is a bit more of a product of the quality of the scoring chances that we've been giving up. When Bob is playing bad, he's off his angles, and it hasn't been what's been getting him beat. Now, Vincent says Zito's not perfect, but to double down on mistakes is a bad plan. No disagreement. The thing about it is, though, I mean, before this season, right, if he was going to try to trade Spencer Knight, who would have taken him? Right? the kid making $4.5 million coming right out of the assistance program. So for all we know, maybe he did try to move on and he couldn't, you're not going to buy him out. You know what I mean? That would be foolish. And, sometimes when you look at mistakes, you can say his contract is a mistake, but when you look at it in hindsight, Bob was playing terrible and Knight was playing well. So I understand what you're saying, but we won a cup. We win the 2 finals in a row. So there's that. FinFun says, what will Zito do with Bob in the future? Only 2 years left and Bob is getting old. Well, I guess it depends on if we win again. Like if it rains sunshine and unicorns on us and we win 3 cups in a row, Bob will probably retire after the 3rd one and be like, okay, I'm good. If his level of play diminishes, I think he'll retire. But it's also possible he may want to stick around for another year or 2 at a much reduced rate. Maybe, like I said, maybe you give Spencer Knight the starter's job and you put Bob in as, a backup that gets, 40 games, and even split. That could happen. But there's so many moving parts to it. Ekblad, you miss Montour? Yeah, I think we all miss Montour. We definitely. How many times when we needed a goal was it Montour that would just start flying around like a maniac trying to make something happen? We just don't have anybody like that. Rosado says, it's weird that we gave Knight that money, but Bob was still playing as the starter. It's true, but I feel like at that point with Bobrovsky's play, I kind of feel like the Panthers were considering buying him out and just plugging Spencer in. And then all hellfire and damnation, right? In less than a year, the whole Q thing happened. Then we won the President's Trophy. Then we got swept. And then Tkachuk said, I want to leave Calgary. And it just changed everything. That whole timeline from the time where Q got fired to the time where the Tkachuk trade happened. I mean, it just changed everything. Yeah, Rosado says, ever since that game in Winnipeg in 2022, Bob has been the starter over Spencer, right? Vincent says, Bob's going to play till 40-41, and he's a true starter. Not many true starters in this league right now, right? Hey, True, how you doing, Nick? How you doing, Nick? Somebody else says, what's my assessment on Maurice's attitude this season? I think he's being calm with a purpose. I know there's been some times when some stuff's going on, it kind of bothered me. But, Amanda made a good point yesterday, and I'm going to piggyback on that. She said it kind of feels like the guys understand that they're going to have a very, very physical playoff run and throw the emotional engagement into that as well. It genuinely looks like everybody from the coaches to, well, at least Maurice, to the players, it genuinely looks like they are attempting to expend as minimum physical and emotional energy as they can to save it all for the postseason. I can't even, like, I feel like 10 years from now, when these guys are getting interviewed about winning the cup or winning the cups, I think then they may come up and be able to admit, be like, yeah, that year we were, not saying we were throwing games away or anything like that, but it just seems like they are very, very reserved on purpose emotionally. Drew says this team is either playing like beasts or they don't show up. No gray area. That's 100% true. Penta says also it wouldn't be a bad thing if they get more speed and energy in the lineup. Swaggy is a floater, and so is Kachuk many times when watching. That's especially Kachuk. Trying to think of who we lost. Yeah, we don't have like a burner. Like it seems as though Sam Iskevich might be one of the faster guys on the team, but he's young. He's got fresh legs. He hasn't played in 2 long playoff runs in a row, so we'll see there. Kazuma says, always felt the team was doing just enough to get into the playoffs and whatever seed and have enough energy for the playoffs. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and it seems like a box of chocolates, right? Vincent says, congratulations, Jaws. Happy for you. Something happened I don't know about? Don't trigger people. Don't trigger people. I don't need any mean texts. Any more mean texts. Rosado says, remember, Bill, if you're watching, Nola Chari will solve all our problems, right? So Damien says, I saw on Clutch Points that Bennett might go to the Stars or Avalanche. Boy, that would be stupid, wouldn't it? I mean, Cale Makar for Sam Bennett. How about Cale Makar for Sam Bennett? Huh? I know it's not going to happen. I won the lotto result. I hope so. I'll take it. If I won the lottery, would I have been here? Yeah, I would have been here this morning. Even if I won the lottery, I would have still been here this morning. Yeah, Colorado would have to retain. Yeah, right. So Pente says Kachuk needs to work on his skating and stop giving his ass first when he's trying to hit a player. I think he's doing that to protect that shoulder, though, Pente. I think he's doing that to protect that shoulder. I can't read who that's from. One wild and crazy guy. Hope you have a happy new year. Right back at you. Appreciate that. Damon, I guess the game is on ESPN Plus, right? Right? Sling? Is the game not on ESPN Plus tonight? NHL. So is it not an ESPN Plus game? What the hell is Sling? How many freaking services do we got to sign up for? Yeah, Magna gave me the lotto. Yeah. What the hell is Sling? This, if I'm not blocked, I shouldn't be blocked out. I don't live that close to New York. Man. Yeah, all of them. It's a trade. It is. Well, thank you for letting me know. Damn it. That's good. I'll put Kyle in charge of that. Do they do a free stream? A free trial? Jesus, how many freaking services do I got to sign up for? God damn it. I'm sick of this. It used to just be turn on DirecTV. Bloop, there it was. No problem. Bender says, I get it. His shoulder maybe ain't same as before, but he's okay. And the lineup guy, he makes $10 million. I expect more, even though I don't mind for a few games off this season. I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But don't forget, there was that one game last year where he laid a hit with his shoulder and then he slumped off. You know, he came back, but I have a feeling. And since then, he's been doing the ass hit. They have a free trial. All right. Thank you, Craig. All right. I'll put Kyle in charge of that. She's like every 5 minutes, it's on a different thing. Man. I have to figure out what I'm going to do for the playoffs. I'll probably have to get Fubo or something for the playoffs. I had to figure that out. Jeez, what an abomination it's turned into. All right, Rosato, what's your idea? What's your idea? Bente, I seen one other guy in the Panthers do it. I forget who it was. But I did see another guy do it. Not recently, though. I guess Tkachuk figures out if he bruises his hip hitting the guy, he can't get much slower anyway. Vincent says, no, Tkachuk is just lazy and he has a star attitude. He's fine. Lines are bad. Damien says, we played a hockey club on TNT, I think, next week on Wednesday. Was it okay, thank you, Axu. Yeah, Montour did in the playoffs. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Thank you. I know I remembered it. Yeah. Good memory. Good memory there. So next week we play hockey club on TNT. So that's going to have to be pirated. That's going to have to be pirated. What a pain in the ass, right? All right, Pente, thanks for joining us, bud. Thanks for joining us. All right, so Rosado says Andrei Bukowski for a second. Oh, and a second and a third for Sam Bennett. I wish he was younger. God, he's big. His salary. How's he? Shark named Fluffy would be cool. Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, he plays for Seattle. Yeah. What's exactly he's supposed to do for us, though? He's not really a goal scorer. Well, he's got some goals. He'll get you 15 goals, right? But he's a winger, right? He doesn't even take draws, doesn't even take face-offs. That's the thing. No, he's as far as I can tell, he's not a center. So I don't know what we would, you're talking about. You just can't create that hole in the second line and think that we're going to win the cup again. That's really the biggest thing there. True says your TV guy says it's on scripts. Yeah, Boulevard says everything would come full circle if the Panthers traded for Marchessault. Yeah, that would just mean if they traded for Marchessault, you see Sam Miskevich go right to the bench. That's what that means. Because Maurice ain't going to bench Boquist. He'll bench Sam Miskevich. Yeah, without a genuine replacement for Bennett, which is damn near impossible. I know Trey. If Trey was here, he'd say Sidney Crosby. He's not. He seems like a decent player that might fit what we're trying to do, but you create the hole for the second center there. That's tough now, right? Barkov, Lundell, who? And Lundell was not Bennett. Lundell is our Barkov replacement. Not replacement, but you know what I'm saying. When Barkov is out, you put Lundell up top, and somehow it works. But he's not going to replace Sam Bennett. We've seen that before. Zara says Dolphins making the playoffs, right? Drew says, sorry to talk football, but we should have been playing Snoop all year for the Finns. No, they're true. I guess there's rumors online that we're going to trade Sam Bennett. Now, it would just make no sense to do that. The only way it makes sense to trade Sam Bennett is if we're trading Ekblad as well. Because we ain't winning the cup without Sam Bennett. Right? We ain't winning the cup without Sam Bennett. So you may as well just blow it all up and point towards next year if you're trading Sam Bennett. And Zito has not been a guy to be afraid to lose guys for nothing. Right? Because we're in win a cup, we're in win now mode. Yanni Gord for the fourth line. Can he still play? I mean, it's not a bad name, but does he have any gas left in the tank? Boulevard, no disagreement there. No disagreement there whatsoever. What a difference it makes to actually have a real mobile quarterback, right? Exactly. Ron says, be careful with trades. Remember Giroux and Chirot. Yeah. Chirot, Chablis, Merlot. Yeah. No, I mean, we know we need a defenseman. But that's about it. I honestly, Connor Murphy, that's the dude. If we can find a way to get him in, find a way to make that work with Chicago, you should be able to get Connor Murphy for, prospect and a pick. They got to retain the salary, and that would solidify the defense as much as it's really going to get solidified, and then you just roll with what you got. Damian says, if we trade those two, we need a defenseman and a center if we do that. Yeah, but what I'm saying there, Damian, is that if we trade Bennett, we're not winning the cup. You may as well get assets for Ekblad. Because my assumption there being Bill Zito's not going to get rid of Bennett to keep Ekblad, right? Like, he wouldn't do that. You see what I'm saying? So you've already ruined the chance of winning the cup again by trading Sam Bennett. You may as well get assets for Ekblad at the same time and move on to next year. Vincent says they will trade Barkov over Bennett. Stop it. Hey, people say it's rumors online. I can't imagine they would do that. They're not going to trade Barkov. Hey, Kyle, wake up.
I just wanted to say hello.
Okay, say hello.
Yeah, hello. So tonight's game is against the Rangers.
Yeah, apparently we got to sign up for a free trial of Sling.
For fuck's sake.
That was my exact reaction.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
Why do they have to make it so hard?
I don't know.
We would pay
I know.
money for just
I know.
What's your hockey team? Panthers.
Here's the money. Let me give you money. Right.
Panthers game. Just give us the money.
Right. I know. What are you looking at?
Am I crazy, or was there not the clear border between gray and white on the wall before?
I don't know. That's when she. Anyway.
Okay.
So go sign us up for Sling. We're almost done here.
We better not lose tonight. That's all I gotta say.
Right. Well, it says, I don't want to speak ill of him, but having Robin Leonard on the team just so you can use his player assistance program for severe depression is kind of bad. I don't know. Is that why they're keeping him on the team? I'm not sure. I don't know that situation. So Miracle says, move Erod for a D-man. Erod was a name we talked about the other day. I don't want to lose anybody. I think Zito should be able to pull somebody decent without having to give up Rodriguez or Luosterainen. I bring up those two names because it's a short list of players who have any salary of consequence that we could move that wouldn't completely kill our chances to win the cup again. All right, Nick. I see Boulevard. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I didn't realize that's what was going on. Interesting. All right, everybody. I'm running out of energy. We're going to go early today. Thank you all for joining us. Much appreciated on the super chats. I got to go do my Monday pack and ship. I'm tired. So the game, is it 7? Is it 7? What time is the game tonight? 7 o'clock. So I'll have Kyle live at 6:45 tonight. Give him some extra time. So FinFam says Lusteron is the one to keep. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. 100%. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And I will see you all tonight